today is officially day 17 of NaNoWriMo, and I'm gonna make this quick because I don't want to break y'all's hearts.
I'm sad to report that I haven't hardly written anything since last week.
There, I said it. It's out in the open. You guys know. I feel better, but I'm not discouraged. I have reached 14,166 words. To be on track to actually win NaNoWriMo still, I have to reach like 3,000 words a day for the rest of the month. I'm totally fine with. I think having a larger goal actually will do me better because I'll feel the pressure and I'll really be like motivated to get it done. I have not lost hope yet. Instead of boring you guys with how much I did not write this week, I thought it'd be really fun to do a bookish facts about me tag. So I'm going to tell you guys 25 bookish things about me. I watched a lot of other YouTubers do this video and I thought it'd be really fun because I noticed a lot of my writing I have been doing a lot of dialogue because I watch TV all the time. So I've been really trying to like push myself to read more so I can get back into the habit of writing more like detail instead of so much dialogue. I'm pretty sure my 14,000 some words is probably 80% dialogue. So I'm not super worried about it, but I definitely want the rest of my book to be more of a book and not a screenplay, and that is my goal for the rest of NaNoWriMo. But to wrap that up, I'm going to dive right into 25 bookish facts about me. I love to read at the gym and when I'm about to go to bed. Those are probably two of my favorite times to read because when I'm working out I can just like zone into the book and not focus on the fact that I'm dying, and then before I go to bed I can get like lost in another world, so my dreams will be even more exciting. I read multiple books at a time. It's very rare that I'm only reading one or sticking with one because I definitely tend to jump around a lot. When I'm reading, noise doesn't bother me. I can have the TV on, I can have music on, people can be screaming or dancing or whatever, something crazy can be happening, and I'm totally zoned into my book. One of the downfalls to me is that I get very car sick if I read in the car. I am not as bad on planes. Like I'll start to kind of get a headache if I like look out the window too much, but if I don't focus on the fact that I'm moving at hundreds of miles per hour, then I'm good. One of the first books that I ever like started reading and just spent the whole day finishing reading was The Outsiders. I think it was in like 7th grade. We were assigned to read the book, and I took it, like I got so into it, I took it home and we were supposed to be reading it chapter by chapter, and I just couldn't stop myself and I read the whole book. And then I loved the story, but it was super hard after the fact because we had quizzes on like every chapter specifically, and I could never remember what like action ended where, so I kept getting wrong answers because I had read the chapters so close together. I didn't know which chapters were where. If I go see a movie that's based on a book, I won't read the book afterwards. You already know what's gonna happen. Most books that are based on movies, it's pretty much the same. Now TV shows are usually very different, but the books and movies are usually pretty cohesively similar, so I just can't do it. If I don't read the book before I go see the movie, chances are I'm never gonna read it. I tend to get through books a lot faster on my Nook than I do physical books. I don't know what it is, I don't know why, I tend to read them all the way through if I'm reading them on my Nook. My favorite series of the moment is the Selection series. I love the story and I love her writing style so much. I just got so sucked in, and it's probably still one of my favorite series right now, and I cannot wait until the next one comes out. Like I am dying waiting to see what happens next. I realized that I actually I've always really liked reality TV because I think it's really interesting to see how other people live, and I think part of that for me is that I realized that I really like reading biographies because I think it's really interesting to see other experiences that people have had and be able to compare it to my own, or to be able to compare it to just life in general and how differently people live. From my experience, the book is usually better than the movie. TV shows are another thing entirely because most TV shows veer off complete track of whatever the book, like they take like one little like grape off of a book and make it into a TV show, whereas most movies are pretty spot on, so usually the book is always better. One of my favorite authors is Sarah Dessen. Pretty much anything she writes I love. I read all of her stuff. I still haven't gotten around to her newest book yet, but it is on my list. One of the first books I ever read of hers was Just Listen, and I fell in love, and ever since then I started collecting her books. I have pretty much all of them in actual copies, and I just love them. I realized I really like graphic novels when I was looking at Books A Million. The Walking Dead had just become a thing, and I saw them sitting on the shelves that it was a graphic novel, and I was like, oh, I bet it's, like, I started watching the show and I got sucked in, and I was like, I want to know what happens. So I wanted to read the graphic novels to see if they were similar. So I got them, and I read them, and I loved them. They're very different from the TV show as far as I had read, but I really like graphic novels. I have this really bad habit of starting to read a book and I will just stop. Like, I'll be halfway in, 3/4 of the way in, and I'll just stop. I love finding quotes in books. I was an English and communication major in college, so I love writing and I love reading and everything that is like books, movies, everything. When I was a kid, one of my favorite book series was Cam Jansen, The Mysteries. I probably read like all of them. That was the only book that I ever checked out from the library. I really hate starting book series before they're done because it's like watching a TV show in real time. You have to wait like week to week. Only if you finish a book, you have to wait months and months for the next one to come out. I judge books by their cover. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. If it's not pretty, the chances of me trying to pick it up if I haven't been like referred to it, or if someone's told me it's amazing, are very unlikely. I probably have enough books to read to last me like a couple years, but every time I look online or something like that and I find other books or watch booktube videos, I find other books that I must read and I add them to my wish list, and I will buy them before I probably even begin to touch any of the bajillions that I have. I can get lost in a book all day. Like, I'll start reading and if I really get into it, like, I'll read all day long. I'll maybe stop for like snacks and stuff, or if I start reading something before I go to bed and I really get into it more than I thought I was going to, I'll end up staying up till like 4 or 5 in the morning just trying to finish it. If I'm gonna read a physical book, I prefer reading paperback. My favorite type, like genre of book, is probably writing books. I actually buy most of my books nowadays on ebook because if you haven't seen my other videos, I live in Spain right now, so it's really hard to, one, find newer books that are in English, or have to wait for like weeks for them to arrive through Amazon Prime. Like, even that takes at least a week and a half. So if I'm in the middle of a book and I finish it and I want to buy the next one, I can just download it real quick on this. The next book I plan to start is the Shiver trilogy. Alright guys, that's 25 bookish facts about me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you do this tag video, I'd love to see it. Please leave a comment down below and let me know so I can go check it out. I'd also really like to know what book you guys are reading right now. And also, if you guys are doing better on NaNoWriMo than I am. And I hope that next week I have better updates to report. So until then, I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye!